Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be the Empire facing off against the Chaos Dwarves, Nipez versus E-Bankers, and it does look like there is going to be some Empire sniping coming in via the Luminark of Heish. So, not a bad tool against some of the Chaos Dwarf artillery. Like, if there's going to be magma cannons or some of the more close-range artillery, like magma cannons, this thing can kind of sneak up on those since magmas are more designed against infantry and cavalry, and it can snipe them, and also not bad against the Veil Taurus. However, if they do come in with Death Shriekers, you're going to be in a little bit of danger if you only have the Luminark. Now, for the Empire build in the front, it's going to be Marcus Wolfhard. I like him. You know, Ned is always good for the Empire. Empire's a faction that really likes to control space, use their Hawk and Long Rifles and their various powder units and artillery, and then counterpunch with cavalry. So Marcus does lend to that, and he's also a cheap anti-large AP character, and, you know, considering the popularity of the Veil Taurus character, not bad. I do like the Marcus. Now, aside from that, it's going to be Spearman with Shields. Makes sense. 43 MD. At a very cheap price point, and anti-large just in case there's something big. I think that's the way to go. I mean, you can go with basic swordsmen, but Bull Centaur Renders will be making an appearance at some point, potentially trains, hobgoblins, so I think that the spears are a little bit better, right? Because swordsmen, you know, the offensive output you're going to be getting from them, not really useful against Chaos Dwarves. Halberdiers on the flank, and these guys are pretty stalwart, like the Spearmen. They have very high MD and armor piercing, so that's nice. And in the back, we do have the Airgate Jaeger Corps, as well as the other Hawkland Long Rifles, both of which are going to be very useful at shooting downtown against some of the Chowie troops and monsters and things. Now, for the Chaos Dwarves, one of my favorite factions I've been playing lately is the Hobgoblin Wolfrider Bows. I think it's always kind of a staple if you're playing the Chaos Dwarves now in the new domination to go with double Hobgoblin Bow. They're very, very nice. They can usually out-skirmish some of the Empire skirmishers like Pistoliers, and Outriders, I think, have similar range, but Outriders can't run and shoot at you, whereas the Goblins can chase them down and shoot at them while they're doing their thing here. Oh, look at that. Luminark shot directly into the face of the Sorcerer Prophet. Not a ton of damage, but yeah. Sorcerer Prophet is going to be death, so Spirit Leech and Buna. Buna was nerfed in this patch. I don't know if it's worth bringing anymore. I haven't tested too much, but against Empire and their heavy cavalry, typically Buna has been very good. Against like Knights of the Black Rose or anything like that, not a bad idea. So Spirit Leech is going to be going on Marcus. Now for the rest of the Chowies army, it's going to be Chaos Dwarves. So we got 2 Chaos Dwarf units here and 2 over here. Not a bad unit. You know, Empire's never liked like heavily armored shielded infantry, so just sending Chaos Dwarf warriors in, not a bad idea. Now, in the backfield, we do have a single Magma Cannon and Infernal Guard Fireglaves. Now, this is a combo I really like, but my only dislike is that I think if you're going to go Magma Cannon, you usually need to go like a critical mass of them to really punish your opponent, because Empire is very good at sniping 1 or 2 with their own cannons or Luminarks, but yeah, the Magma is excellent against Empire State Troopers, and the Fireglaves are really good defenders against Empire Heavy Cavalry. They can shoot them down, and then they can use their halberds to defend the Magma Cannon if they need to. It's one of my favorite combos. I really like this from Nipez. It's good stuff. So Hawkland's shooting here, and they're going to be mowing into the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, immediately doing some big damage with the Shield Breaker. And on the other side, we do see some sneaky. If you're playing Chaos Dwarves against Empire, you always want to go 4 Wolf Riders with spears, and summon like 3 or 4 at a time and just blitz from multiple angles, like 1 up the middle, 1 through here, 1 through the outside, and swarm Empire shooting. You really need to pressure them. Otherwise, the Empire's like medium range shooting, like Hawk and Long Rifles, is just going to dominate you. You're going to have a bad time. You immediately see this Chowie unit getting beat up pretty badly. And the Luminark's coming across. Yeah, it's going for it. A little bit out of position here with the Infernal Guard. Chaos Dwarf player needs to grab the Veil Taurus and intercept that. And also, I do like this tech from E-Bankers here, having the Celestial Wizard to drop the Uran and Thunderbolt on top of this is going to be nice. Oh, it's the 1-2 combo. Okay, direct hit. Gets hit really, really hard. And now there's going to be Uran and Thunderbolt, and that Magma Cannon gets absolutely punished. So that's kind of the issue with only bringing 1, but we'll see how it goes. Magma Cannon is going to be fleeing, but is there going to be a price? We do see the Veil Taurus character landing here, going after the Empire Wizard. And if the pick on the Wizard gets taken here, that would be a pretty big one. You can see the Veil Taurus character is hunting, but the Wizard is trying to juke. In the meantime, the Luminark of Heish is just rolling dirty. I think it's going to be trying to finish off that Magma Cannon once and for all, and it's just out of range, can't quite get the shot. Whereas in the backfield, a little bit of chaos is enveloping. So we get Hobgoblins going after the Null and Ironsides, which Null and Ironsides are awesome. Their combat stats are really good, actually. They'll be able to fight off bows, but spears might be a little bit tricky. We'll have to see. And some sneaky gets from Nipez here as well. I do like the sneaky gets popping out of the trees. If they were able to get on the Ironsides, that would be pretty huge. But the Empire backline is under a little bit of pressure here. Granted, the Empire Knights doing a good job screening out the archer units. But now this one is free as well. So these little bow boys can go around the side and maybe try and jump on top of the Hawk and Long Rifles. And yeah, the Null and Ironsides able to fight off the Hobgoblin Spear Riders. They were very, very beat up. They took a lot of damage on the charge. But now the second wave is on its way in. In the front, we do see the Hawk and Long Rifles getting cost-effective shots into the Chaos Dwarves here, and I think the Wizard did get away, or did it get killed? Oh, shit, I think the Wizard might have gotten killed there. Okay, let's see his value. Okay, yeah, the Sorcerer Prophet just killed the Empire Wizard. That's a pretty massive play right there. And now it looks like he's going to be going after the Hawken long rifles. And will the contact be made? He's thinking about it. Maybe he's going to be looking to go elsewhere. Maybe go after Marcus and or the Luminark. Both are viable targets for sure. And the Chowie infantry have arrived, and the Infernal Guard Fireglaves are on their way up. Objective 3 is owned by the Chaos Dwarves. Objective 2 and 1 owned by the Empire right now. In the backfield, we do see the Sneaky Gits being chased off, but they did do a respectable amount of damage to those relatively expensive Null and Ironsides. But good defense of the backfield. The Empire has been able to kind of secure most of its key assets, but the Chaos Dwarves are creeping up in value. 24 against 3.5, so not a big difference. Not a point where it's like, oh man, this is going to be GG, right? So the Fireglaves need to move up and either shoot the Luminark or start picking off some of these Empire heavy cavalry. And the call in the back is going to be another Magma Cannon. Okay, he's going the distance, man. And you better shut down that Luminark, though, before it gets back on that Magma Cannon. That would hurt pretty bad. Infernal Guard Fireglaves moving up. I'm not sure what their target is right now. I think they're just being given a move order. But man, the Hawken Long Rifle is dominating them. That's the rock, paper, scissors of this matchup. Fireglaves are quite good, but you need to have like 2 or 3, I would even say 2 or 3 Magmas to shut down the Hawken Long Rifles. And then if the Empire brings cannons, it becomes even trickier, right? Because cannons are very good against Magma Cannon. So there's a little bit of caginess in this matchup. It's a really, really fun one, though. I play it all the time. And honestly, I feel like it's pretty even. Depending on, like, if we're banning, like, the land ship and other things like that, it's not so bad, right? But, yeah, Empire's a lot of fun to play these days, and so are Chaos Dwarfs. 2 great factions. So the burnt effect going down here onto the Arrogate Jaeger Corps, and they're hanging in like champs, but you can see the Afterburner does some nice work. And the Bull Centaur Renders finally called in with great weapons, so they'll be very good against the Empire Heavy Cavalry, but very vulnerable against shooting from this like Fire Corps here of the Empire. We definitely need to see the Chaos Sorcerer Prophet make a play back here and just go for it. He does get caught in Hunter's Snare, and now he's going to be eating some shots, and I can't help but think this is where the Empire starts to take over the game. Unless the Chaos Dwarfs can get some really nasty counterpunch, like these guys can like clean up all these Hawklins back here, and the Sorcerer Prophet can heal from some of the magic being cast. Granted, there is no wizard on the field for the Empire, which ironically is not going to let him heal because he heals when spells are cast. But the Fireglaves have lined up their sights here on the Luminark of Heish, and the Magma Cannon is getting some relatively respectable shots against the Jaeger Corps, but not before it gets popped again by the Luminark. Man, that feels bad. So that Magma Cannon getting routed back to the Shadow Realm. The Hawken Long Rifle is doing good. Really, really good battlefield control here by the Empire. And now we see a good flanking attempt coming in, but the Null Ironsides is like a protected piece. It's kind of interesting, right? They have 60 armor and 32, 26, 28. That's enough to fight a light skirmish cavalry. Granted, their model count is very, very low. And now we see the State Troopers with spears going to be forming up ranks, and the Beeltors does get the Luminark down. Not down, but routed. And that needed to happen a long time ago, because now he's going to get Last Samurai in the air pretty hard, and the Chaos Dwarves, he's the big carry character for Chaos Dwarves. Granted, you know, Astrogoth is very good too, like as a hunter character with the Black Hammer of Hashut. He's excellent at hunting things down, but I think that the Sorcerer Prophet is hands down the best. Even in matchups with good shooting, you want to bring him just because of how powerful of a duelist he is, and he just brings so much to the battlefield. But Chaos Dwarves have Objective 3. The second one is being held by the State Troopers. The State Trooper unit is a little bit surrounded by the Fireglaves as well as the Chaos Dwarves here. But, you know, they're not gonna worry too much about it. They do have 2 other State Troopers here, including a Halberdier, which would be able to hold them back. And the diving attempts here not super successful, as the Chaos Dwarves are going to be held at bay. And on the other side, we do see the Sorcerer Prophet running. On the back, though, we do see some Hobgoblin Wolf Riders chasing down the Luminark of Heish. But another Ironside being called in is going to be incredibly effective here, and I think that's probably it. I mean, there is double Magma Cannon, which is very good. Magmas are amazing against Empire. They do super well against like everything except cannons. And I don't actually know how they trade shooting directly into a Luminark. That would require a little bit of testing, but yeah, I really like to go triple Magma on smaller maps against Empire. On big maps, they can usually beat you with cannons, which is, so it's very much a map-dependent thing. On a big map like this, probably the best way to deal with the Empire would be like a wide armor checking build with like huge swarming elements, maybe like using the trees to like swarm the Empire backfield and diving and trying to have a big alpha strike. But overall, certainly not an easy feat. Empire does have some good control. So we do see the powder pouring into the Chaos Dwarf Warriors here. Chaos Dwarf somehow pulling the value back a little bit. This would be a pretty insane comeback if the Chaos Dwarfs could mount it, but I just don't see how that's possible. However, there could be a bit of a lapse in the power when the Empire does run out of ammunition. It's the classic Wimplo face-to-foot style from oh my god, the brain is just, it was a long night. I played in an Old World tournament yesterday. Kung Pao is the movie, but I played an Old World tournament, and it was like a 3-hour drive to get there, a 3-hour drive back, and it was like, you know, a good 6 hours of just straight tabletop. It was really fun. We went undefeated with the Warriors of Chaos in place top 3, which was really fun. But here we have the Empire Knights cleaning up some of the harassing units in the back, and some of the doggos, the Wolf Riders, going to be chasing down the Ironsides, but the Ironsides do not stand alone. The Brave Knights of Sigmar, lances couched for the Emperor on their way in, as the old Sorcerer Prophet going to be coming to lend his blade. Also, Burning Head might arguably be better against Empire, just like against the State Troopers and the gun lines and things like that. I don't know, though. Spirit Leech Boon is a really good kit. Spirit Leech is just always nice, like, for gooning things. You saw how quickly the Baletor's killed the Wizard in the beginning. But at this point, I think it's probably safe to call it over, right? We see the Magma Cannon here in trouble. There are going to be some Infernal Ironsworn coming out, and though they're good, Infernal Ironsworn are not good in this matchup. They're too elite, and the Empire's magic and guns can snipe them too much. In the backfield, we do see the Sorcerer Prophet getting Last Samurai, and he's trying to fly away. He's got 88 HP. Oh, the Marcus shot. Is he going to get it? Let's see. Long rifles, and down goes the Chowie Lord, tumbling to the earth at the hands of Sigmar's finest. All right, GG, well played. It was a fun match for sure. Cool to see the Luminark in play, as well as the long rifles and that really, really nice defense using the Null and Ironside. So, yeah, the Empire got several, they got a really broken unit via the Landship, but they also got some units that are pretty fair, but also very strong. Like the Ironsides and the Hawk and Long Rifles are both really good units that require a bit of finesse and positioning, but if you can pull it off, they're extremely rewarding. And you can see the Ironsworn not really that good in this matchup, so I would recommend definitely not bringing those. So over here we do see the Hobgoblins doing their thing, swarming, a couple Bull Centaurs on their way in. But that's going to be a rock hard triple cap for Sigmars. The Infernal Ironsworn are going to get punished off the objective. Good play here, running away from the blasting charges, kiting those out while the shooting can do the heavy lifting. Always a good tactic against blasting charges. So yeah, overall the Empire build was cool. It was fun. The one thing this Empire build would have been really, really vulnerable against would have been either a Deathstreak rocket launcher would have just killed this thing outright, or like a triple magma build. Probably, like, you could Spirit Leech this and fire 3 magmas at the Luminark and probably kill it pretty quickly, at which point this build would be heavily at the mercy of the magma cannons. But overall, he played very well. The Luminark sniping in tandem with the Celestial magic was extremely clean. His Hawk and Long Rifle positioning was really, really good. And Nipez did a good job too. Certainly did the Chowies are proud. I just think the build needs a little bit of refining, probably opening less Chaos Dwarf Warriors in the beginning. Just replace these two with like labor units, and then you bring in some more fire support. Either another, like a Deathstreaker, which you can hide behind the pillar and shoot, or hide in the woods and shoot out of, or triple magma, or you just armor check. You kind of need to decide, because the problem is if you go triple magma and they go like double cannon, especially with Marcus, they could probably punish you really badly. But on a small map where the magmas can close the distance to the cannons, it can be a fair trade. So some tricky choices to make there. But GG, well played to both these players. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and we will see you on the other side.